So class, welcome to the lecture number 29 of the course. In the previous lecture, we discussed about these various terminologies that are used in HVDC, where commutation group, number of valves in series, number of valves in parallel, denoted these things are denoted by P, S, and R. Then we talked about the half wave rectifier, about the peak inverse voltage, about the average output voltage on the DC side, and we also discussed about the three-phase half wave rectifier, where we said that this is the condition. So I'm saying this is the secondary of a transformer. Here we have a primary of a transformer as well, that I am not drawing here. So I have three switches and I have an inductor. We always take inductor in HVDC. That's why we are always showing inductor here. So we have a load. So here I said that the average output voltage, it is given by VD naught is given by 3√3 Vm upon 2 pi. Okay, this was for a three-phase half-wave rectifier. So in case of a three-phase full-wave rectifier, we say that these we have, instead of one, we have two switches. Like here, if you will see here, suppose I am saying this is a three-phase bridge rectifier. I have three switches in the upper side and three switches in the lower side. So I can say these two switches are connected in series. Okay, like I'm saying this is one switch. This was a diagram of a half-wave rectifier. If I will connect three switches here, then it will act like as a three-phase full bridge rectifier. This half-wave rectifier will act as a three-phase full bridge rectifier. Okay, so as you can see, this is a secondary of a transformer here. Okay, this is a secondary of a transformer. I have a voltage, phase voltage EA, EB, EC. These are the transformer reactances. Then we have a three-phase bridge rectifier, while I have three switches on upper side and three switches on lower side. This is a load. VD is this capital VD means instantaneous voltage, and this small VD means the actual voltage. Anything capital means instantaneous. Okay, so this VD is the voltage across the load. LD is the inductance that is connected in series with the load. So tell me, bache. So in this case, I am saying that in case of a half wave rectifier, I am saying that P is equal to 3 because I am getting 3 pulses in one cycle of the AC. Okay. So, and also if you can see here, I have one valve. Okay. This is one valve, and in this valve, this is how many switches are there? There are 3. Okay, in this converter, we have 3 valves. 1 valve, 2 valve, and 3 valves. I have 3 valves here, and out of 3 valves, only 1 valve is conducting at a time. So here the pulse number, this Q will be equal to 3, R will be equal to 1, because 1 is connected in series, and S will also be equal to 1, because there is no another valve that is connected. Okay, with this valve converter, no other converter is there. So P is equal to 1, Q is equal to 3, S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1. So this was giving me P is equal to Q into R into S. I told you formula. So Q was 3, S was 1, R was 1. So P was coming out to be 3. Okay. However, in this case, in case of a three-phase bridge rectifier, you can see this is a converter. This is a group of valves. 3 valves on upper side and 3 valves on valve side. So I can say that 1, 3 and 5, they form one commutating group, and this will form another commutating group. 4, 6 and 2, it will form another commutating group. Commutating group means out of these 3, 1 will conduct at a time, and out of these 3, 1 will conduct at a time. So I am saying how many valves are there in this group? 3. Okay, and only 1 is conducting at a time. So number of valves are 3. So what is Q? Q is 3 here. Q is equal to 3. Q equal to 3. So this is a group of 3 valves and only 1 valve is conducting. So this is called as commutating group. Okay. What was the definition of the commutating group? I told you yesterday. Commutating group is a group of valves in which only one group conducts at a time. Group of valves means कितने valves हैं एक group में, और उन valves में से उस group में से सिर्फ एक valve conduct करेगा. तो कितनों का group है यहाँ पे? Conduct तो यहाँ पे at a time एक ही कर रहा है. Only one is conducting at a time. in this and one is conducting at a time in this. But how many valves are there in this group? 3, and 3 valves are in this group. So Q is equal to 3. Okay. So because we are saying out of 3 switches or 3 valves, only one valve is conducting, and this is called a commutating group. And we are saying that this will conduct at a time, this will conduct, and in the bottom 2 will conduct. After some time, means after 60-degree interval, 3 will conduct in the upper, and then 6 will conduct in the lower. Okay, so then 5th in the upper and 4th in the lower. So but this is an ideal condition. Okay, when this will turn off, this will turn on. Okay, and when this will turn off, this will turn on instantaneously. Okay, but you know, there is inductor in the system. The current in a valve cannot reduce to 0, or in a valve cannot increase to 0 instantaneously. Okay, so what happens for some angle or for some time? Okay, because we on the x-axis we take we draw the waveform with respect to angle. So we say for some angle both the diodes will conduct. Maybe for after 60 degree this should turn off and this should turn on, but at after 60 degrees this is turning off, but it will turn off suppose say 64 degree, and this will start conducting current at 60 degree, but it will conduct full current at 64 degree. This will turn off, it will start turning off at 60 degree, but it will turn off at 64 degree, and it will start conducting at 60 degree, but it will conduct the total current after 64 degree. So this is a 4 degree overlap between group valve 1 and valve 3. So this overlap is called as commutation overlap. Okay, means the time for which or angle for which both the valves in a group will conduct current together they both will conduct current, they both will contribute to the load current. So that angle or that time is called as, that angle is called as commutation angle, and the time taken and the time during which they both will conduct, it is called as commutation time. Okay, so what do you mean by commutation? Commutation simply means the process of turning off of a switch, means transfer of current from one switch to another switch. It is called as commutation period. Okay, so it is called as commutation period. Just hang on a second. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, so I am saying during ideal condition, okay, one will conduct at a time. During ideal condition means when there is no this overlap of switches. So at that time only one group will conduct at a time from the upper, and one will conduct at a time from the lower. Okay, so I am saying that therefore Q will be equal to what? 3. So tell me how many valves are connected in series. This is one group of valve, it is connected in series with this another group of valves. Okay, so I can say that these two are connected in series, so I can say that S is equal to 2. Okay, so how many valves are connected in parallel? So this is one group of valve, this is another group of valve, but they are connected in series, they are not connected in parallel, so R will be equal to 1. Okay, so connected in series, you can also say that S, we are saying that this one group of valve, this is another group, sorry, this is one group of valves, we have 3 valves here, this is another group of valves, we have 3 valves here. So at a time I am saying that one valve is conducting from upper side and valve number 2 is conducting from lower side. So current will flow from this to this and will return to valve number 2. Okay, so I can say that valve 1 and valve 2 are connected in series. Then 3 will conduct from upper side and 4 will conduct from lower side. Then 3 and 4 I can say they are connected in series. Okay, so at a time, two valves are connected in series. So S is equal to 2. and valves are not connected, means we can, but this R is equal to 1 because we don't have any two valves which operate in parallel simultaneously. No two valves are operating in parallel simultaneously, so R is equal to 1. Okay, so what will be the pulse number? Pulse number will be given by, so S is 2, and in this case S, which will form the pair 1 2 4 3 4 and 5 6. R is equal to 1. So the pulse number P will be equal to 3 multiplied by, this is R multiplied by S multiplied by, this is Q multiplied by S multiplied by R. So 3 2s are 6, 6 1s are 6. So 6 is the pulse number. So in one cycle of AC, in one cycle of AC, I will get, suppose this is one cycle of AC. I'm saying, I will try it here. So I'm saying this is one cycle of AC. So in this one cycle, how many? I will get 6 pulses of DC. So I will get 6 pulses like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I will get 6 pulses, but it will not be like this. Yes, it can. It will be like, I will show it here. It will be better. Suppose one cycle of AC, I will get 6 pulses. This is one cycle of AC. I will get 6 pulses. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I will get 6 pulses of DC. Okay. So in this case, peak inverse voltage will be nothing but root 3 Vm. Okay, and average output voltage, I will give you a general formula for an average output voltage. Average output voltage will be given by Q into S into Vm divided by pi sine of pi by Q. Okay, so in this case, what is your Q is 3, S is 1, Vm as it is, pi as it is, sine pi by Q. What is Q? Q is 3, 180 by 3, 60, sine 60. It will be 3, 2 multiplied by pi divided by pi Vm sine 60 root 3 by 2. 2 will cancel. So I will get Vd naught is equal to 3 root 3 Vm upon pi. Okay. So if you will calculate using this formula, if you will calculate the Vm for a 3-phase half-wave rectifier, this is the formula for a 3-phase half-wave rectifier now. Vd naught is equal to 3 root 3 Vm upon 2 pi. What is the formula? I am saying use the formula, general formula. Vd naught is equal to Q into S into Vm divided by pi sine pi by Q. Because most oftenly people make mistake while integrating, while taking the limits. So if you know Q, what is S, and what is R, you can simply get this. So Q is equal to, in case of this half-wave rectifier, I told you Q was equal to 3, S was 1, Vm as it is divided by pi sine, Q is 3, so sine 60. Sine 60 root 3 by 2 you will get by 3 into Vm by pi sine 60 root 3 by 2. It is equal to 3 root 3 upon 2 pi Vm. Okay, so Vd naught comes out for a half wave. It is 3 root 3 Vm upon 2 pi for a 3-phase half wave, which was equal to 3 root 3 upon 2 pi Vm. Okay, but often when you solve it, power electronics, you will integrate it and then you will solve it. So I am giving you a direct formula here. So because it will consume time to derive that formula. So simple, you can use this method here and you can get the formula. So but for full wave rectifier, Vd naught is equal to 3 root 3 Vm upon pi. This is for full wave 3-phase, and Vd naught for half wave. Vd naught for full wave 3-phase is 3 root 3 Vm upon pi. For Vd naught half wave 3-phase rectifier, it was 3 root 3 divided by 2 pi into Vm. So tell me where voltage will be more, where output voltage will be more. Obviously in full wave, because it is here, denominator is in 2 is in denominator, and here we don't have 2 in the denominator. So obviously Vd naught for full wave 3-phase rectifier, it will be double that of the Vd naught for half wave 3-phase rectifier. So obviously output voltage will be more in case of a 3-phase full bridge rectifier. So you got the formula, Q into S into Vm upon pi sine pi by Q. And this formula will solve many of your problems. Just remember the formula and you will get the answers. Okay. So I told you this is a 6-pulse bridge rectifier, where I told you we have 2 commutation groups. So and we have a group of 3 valves, and this 3-valve group, it's called as commutation group. So that is why Q is equal to 3. So I am saying that the 2 valves are connected in a series at a time, because only 2 valves will conduct at a time, one from upper, one from lower. So S is equal to 2 and R is equal to 1. Okay, so this will give me total number of pulses 6. Vd naught is equal to peak inverse voltage root 3 Vm, and Vd naught is equal to 3 root 3 upon pi Vm, which is twice that of the output voltage in case of a 3-phase half-wave rectifier. Good. Page number 2, no, page number 3. So next, let us discuss what are the desirable features of a converter transformer. Desirable features, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So desirable features, I am saying the first desirable feature is that the pulse number should be high. Means it should be 6, 12, it should not be 3 or lower. Why? Because if we increase the pulse number, then the harmonics will reduce. Okay. So in the system, but for designing the system for higher pulse number, it will increase the complexity. Means here you have 6. If you want 12, you have 1. What will you do? If you have 6, you have 1. You will use another converter here. Okay. But what will you do if this is a star delta connected? The other converter, it should be star star connected. Then you will get a 30-degree phase shift between the output pulses of this converter and the output pulses of the another converter. Okay. So increasing the number of pulses means it will increase the complexity. You will have to increase the number of valves. You have to increase the number of transformers in the system. So it will increase the complexity. So we go for optimal number of these pulses in the system, and that is 6 or 12 pulse. But 12 pulse is considered better as compared to 6 pulse. I will tell you why. So this is for a 6 pulse converter, where only I'm taking 3-phase one 3-phase transformer. But for a 6-pole transformer, I cannot take one 3-phase transformer. I need 2 3-phase transformers. Okay, and one transformer, if one transformer is YY connected, star star connected, then another should be star delta connected. Okay, and both these transformers are connected in series. Okay, means and both these transformers should be connected in series. For example, I am saying suppose for a star star transformer, I am saying pulse number is 6. I will get 6 pulses on the converter output. Okay, for the star star transformer. So I am saying this is total 360 degree up to this point. Okay, so I am saying this is each pulse will be of 60 degree. 6 6 is 36. So this is 1 pulse, 2nd pulse, 3rd pulse, 4th pulse, 5th pulse, and 6th pulse. Okay, this is the output of at the converter terminal of a star star transformer. So if I am using another transformer of star delta, what will happen? The output of this delta, because of this delta configuration, the output will shift by 30 degree. Okay, depending upon which winding is star connected primary or secondary, which is delta connected, then depending upon that it will lead or lag. Okay, so I am saying it will shift by 30 degree, and here I'm saying if this is 60 degree, this is 30 degree. At the center it will be 30 degree. So from here we will start this, the 1 2 3 4 5 6. So adding these two will give us a total 12 pulse in the system, and each pulse will be of 30 degree, and this 12 pulse system is used in HVDC application. Okay, so I told you this increasing the number of pulses. If you will increase, there are 3 pulses and 6 pulses, which is more smooth, which is more close to DC. Obviously 6 pulse. When there is 6 pulse or 12 pulses, which will be more close to DC. Obviously 12 plus will be more close to DC. Have I drawn it anywhere in the system? No. I haven't shown in the waveform. But no worry, there is no need to show it. So I am saying that increasing the number of pulses will make the DC more uniform, more smooth. Okay, and it will reduce the harmonics in the system as well. So in case of a 6 pulse, the harmonics are lower as compared to a 12 pulse. So I can say that, and moreover in case of a 12 pulse, the output voltage waveform is more close to the DC, means it is more smooth. So that is why I will say that 12 pulse is better as compared to a 6 pulse configuration. Okay, so because you know the formula, H harmonics order is given by, characteristic harmonic is given by NP plus minus 1. So for a 6 pulse operation, harmonics will be of 5th order, 7th order, 11th order, and 13th order. And for a 12 plus harmonic, it will be 11th order and 13th harmonic. This 5th and 7th, they will be 0. They will cancel. How they will cancel, I will tell you. Suppose this is star delta transformer. Okay. In their waveform, there will be fifth and seventh harmonic as well. Okay. But in case of star delta transformer, they will generate a fifth harmonic and seventh harmonic of opposite polarity compared to this one. If this is generating a fifth and seventh harmonic of one polarity, this will generate a fifth and seventh harmonic of opposite polarity, but not 11th and 13th. Okay. So what will happen? This sixth and seventh generated in this will be cancelled by the fifth and seventh generated in this will be cancelled by the fifth and seventh generated in this. Okay. So that is why in case of 12 pulse, we will not have this fifth and seventh harmonic, though 11th and 13th harmonic will be there. So, and you know that in case of 6 pulse, we have 5th, 7th, 11th, 13th harmonic. In case of 12 plus, we have 11th and 13th harmonic only. So you can see that lower the order of the harmonic, higher the magnitude. So the magnitude of the harmonics in case of a 12 pulse converter, it is low as compared to the magnitude of the harmonic in case of a 6 pulse converter. Therefore, the overall harmonic content in a 6 pulse will increase. Higher harmonic content in 6 pulse configuration. So this was a desirable feature, that is the pulse number should be high, and I told you why it should be high. Means output waveform will be more smooth, harmonics will be less. Okay. Then peak inverse voltage should be low. Peak inverse voltage should be low means you can see that the peak inverse voltage across this is given by root 3 Vm. Okay. So peak inverse voltage means the voltage that is that a diode should or valve should withstand in the off mode. Okay. So means higher for making the switch to withstand higher voltage, we need switches of better quality. Okay, better material should be there. So this will reduce the so it will increase the cost of the valve. Okay, therefore PIV, if the peak inverse voltage is low, should be low, then it will reduce the cost of the valve. Okay. The third point is VD0 by E should be high as possible. E is nothing but the RMS voltage at the secondary of the transformer. Okay, so we know that VD0 is equal to 3 root 3 upon 2 by Vm. What is over M? Over M is that output voltage should be output should be maximum. Only then we can say that it is a efficient transformer. If the output voltage, what is the aim of a converter? Our aim is to get maximum voltage on the output side. For a particular voltage on the input side, we want that the output on voltage on the output side, it is maximum. So we also means that if VD0 is maximum means it more DC voltage is obtained. So VD0 should be high, and VD0 by E should be high. This means that for a certain amount of RMS voltage on the secondary, okay, the output voltage should be high. Okay, higher VD0. What is VD0 by E? VD0 by E is simply given by 3 root 3 divided by 2 pi. Okay, because what is VD0? 3 root 3 divided by pi. What was of 3 root 3 divided by pi into Vm. Sorry, here it keep it as Vm. 3 root 3 Vm upon pi. Okay, this was VD0. E, I'm saying E is the RMS voltage at the secondary. So what will be E will be in terms of maximum voltage, it will be Vm by root 2. Wait a minute, I think I made a mistake somewhere. Mm-hmm. 3 root 3 Vm upon pi, Vm by root 2. Vm cancel, 3 root 3 upon should be divided by 2 pi. So Vm is nothing but Em by Em into root 2. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I got it. So Vm is nothing. Vm by E. What is Vm? Vm is E root 2. So I will substitute, instead of Vm, I will substitute 3 root 3 upon pi. Vm is nothing but E into root 2. Sorry, there is a confusion. So VD0 by E is equal to 3 root 3 divided by root 2 root 2 pi. Okay. Yes, okay, this is the VM, then it will be root 2 pi in this case. So what will we get? We get for higher VD naught by E means that for a small amount of transformed secondary voltage, we are getting more DC voltage. For a small secondary voltage, we are getting more DC voltage. I made a mistake in this point. You can correct it later. Okay, it is simple substitution. So I think root 2 will come in the numerator or whatever it is. So this I am saying for higher VD naught by E means that for the small amount of transformer secondary voltage, we are getting maximum output voltage. Then only we can say that our system is efficient. Okay. So fourth point, second point, I told you PIV should be as low. But fourth point, I am saying that PI by VD naught should also be as low as minimum, because we want PIV low and we want VD naught as high. So ratio of PI by VD naught, this should be low, this should be high. So obviously this ratio should be as minimum as possible, because this will reduce the cost of the system. So this is on point number 4, and the point number 5 is transformer utilization factor. Transformer utilization factor, it should be near to unity, because we know that the transformer utilization factor is nothing the RMS power on the secondary of the transformer divided by the DC power. RMS power on the secondary is VRMS IRMS, and DC power is VD into ID. Okay, so this transformation ratio should be equal to, transformer utilization factor should be equal to, nearly equal to unity. Okay, so you can see that we have different we have VM, okay, or VD or VD naught in this case. So VD naught, we know I told you it depends upon this R, S and Q. So for a 6 pulse operation, this is Q, this is R, and this is S, and this is R. So for a 6 pulse operation, P is equal to 6. One possibility is that you can have Q equal to 6. But is it possible? It is not possible, but still we can say that one possibility. Then we can have 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2. Okay, 2, 1, 3. Okay, similarly I have a number of possibilities are there, but the best possibility which will satisfy all these criteria, that is PIV should be minimum, PIV by VD naught should be as minimum as possible, VD naught by E should be maximum, pulse number should be maximum, and this what was the last, transformer utilization factor, it should be as close to unity. So if we will analyze the system, I am not analyzing it because you must have studied it in your power electronics course. So if you will analyze the system, the best configuration will come out like this: 3 valves, 3 group of valves, then 2 valves connected in series, and in parallel only 1 valve. Okay, so this is the best configuration, which will satisfy all these features, these desirable features, 4 or 5 I discussed today. So this was all about today's lecture. So lecture number 30. In lecture number 30, I will start with the equivalent electrical circuit of an HVDC system. So go through these lectures. In case of any doubt, you can drop a message in Google Classroom, or you can contact me via WhatsApp or on phone. Thank you very much.